This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. Moments of Clarity's mission is to educate and end the stigma on mental health through the inspirational stories of our exceptional guests. You can join in the show by calling Tiffany toll-free at 866-826-1340 or on Facebook and Twitter at MOC with Tiffany. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hi, thanks for listening. This is Moments of Clarity. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we are going to be discussing something very important that a lot of us are really struggling with, and it's how to manage our finances, especially now during this pandemic and everything's so unpredictable. We're going to add a little comfort and some coping skills, not only with mental health, but some tools with a professional that can help us figure out how to make more money and save money and what to do right now to help ease a little bit of our anxiety regarding this. Before I introduce my guest, of course, I want to say hi to Ed behind the glass that helps run the show and such a good friend and I miss. And how you doing, Ed?
I'm just fine. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I didn't steal your line this time. But how's it going with everything at the studio? And I know that a lot of us aren't coming in, but a lot of people still are. And you're showing up to work every day as a frontliner to make sure that the news and the stories and the shows get out there. And I appreciate everything you're doing.
No problem. Yeah, some are still coming in. Quite a few are coming in. I just have to wipe down everything after they're done between shows.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're doing. And you're one of those people that just kept going to work, and regardless of any fear of anxiety of anything, you are quite a hero. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
And anyway, so our guest today is one of the sponsors for Moments of Clarity and has been such a support and a friend for years, but also is an expert on financial planning and one of the sponsors, Forever Forward Financial Group. And I want to welcome to Moments of Clarity, Scott Bigley. Hi, Scott.
Thank you. Hi, Tiffany. How are you? This is a little weird. We normally get to be sitting across the table from each other, but under current circumstances, we're putting technology to the test today.
We sure are. And unfortunately, the studio, even then, we wouldn't be able to practice social distancing because I don't think there's 6 feet between the microphones. So we got to make it, we adapt, and we still are here making sure that the listeners get mental health tips as well as you know, what's the show must go on, you know, like they say in theater.
The show must go on. Yeah.
You know, we're never going to quit. We're just going to adapt to what we need to do. And, you know, things will always change, and this too shall pass, right? So, but
it will.
Yeah, so in this pandemic, a lot of people are having mental health anxiety, especially those that have lost their jobs or been on furlough or losing their checks right now. And so I'm excited to have you on to give some positive coping skills or some tools that we can use to do that. Before that, you get into that, kind of want to get a little backstory of how you got into this and into financial planning and why you find it so important today.
Well, it's a long story, but I'll keep it short. I've been doing this for about 26, 27 years ago. Actually kind of stumbled into it by accident. It was way back in the day, in the previous century. I was making a transition from a career in law enforcement to whatever came next. And as an interim, I taught in the public school system. And as part of that, the services that were provided by the school system at that time, where you got to meet with a financial advisor to kind of help you look over the benefits packages and so on and so forth. And one of the things that the gentleman at the time asked me was, what was the biggest change moving from law enforcement into public education? And not that I was making a whole lot of money as a law enforcement officer, but I was definitely making a lot less as a school teacher. And again, this was, back in 1492. So it was a long time ago. And he looked at me and said, well, you realize, you can do what I do. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you could work with people, help them, learn more about money, understand how money works, begin to plan and save and build strategies and kind of build a firm financial foundation. And, I looked at him and I thought to myself, well, he doesn't look that smart. So if he can do it, I can do it. And that's really how I got into the business. I kind of started on a part-time basis while I was still working in the school system. And a couple years later, realized that it's not that I didn't enjoy teaching or working with kids or all that, but my real talent and my real passion was this. And so I left the school system and have been doing this ever since. And basically have dedicated myself and my organization to helping individuals, families, and businesses, learn how money works by focusing on 4 primary thoughts, which are how do you save more money, how do you grow your money, how do you make more money, and how do you keep it all safe. So that's what I've been doing for the last 25, 26 years with folks.
And one thing you're leaving out, though, is that you also worked with the mental health system for years and years and years, and that's how we met. So not only do you have a passion and an empathy for people in the mental health system, but you do this as well, and you like to help people with certain things, even on disability, and it doesn't matter what kind of financial shape people are in, you've put yourself out there to really help no matter what. So that's something that's how we ran in together, not only because, my finances are, for lack of better words.
You're doing fine.
I am not only, president of the financial planning need. I am also a client. I'm just kidding.
That is true. But no, you're absolutely correct. One of the things that we try to do is take this knowledge. What we try to do at Forever Forward Financial is, reach out to the demographics, reach out to the people that most people in this industry forget about. And that's what led me into working in the mental health community. Folks that are suffering from mental health issues, behavioral health issues, addiction issues, are just like you and I. They're people that are struggling with an issue. They are you and I. Yeah.
We all are the same.
And they should not be forgotten people just because we're dealing with a behavioral health or an addiction issue. They have families. They have concerns. They want to succeed. They want to do better. They want to improve their lives. That's why you have the client base that you have. To me, we all do. It was a natural move for me to work with someone like you, to work with your client base, to say, part of what you deal with, there's 2 big stressors in life, relationships and money,
and now health as well.
And now health.
This pandemic, I think, has put a lot of people in like a wake-up call, like, oh my goodness, I didn't plan for this. People are worried about before planning for retirement and other things moving forward.
Right.
But no one saw this coming, of course, where people's, small businesses are being shut down and people are being told they can't work and people are being put on furlough. And as far as I know, the rates of applications for unemployment right now are skyrocketing. People are waiting for that stimulus check and everything. And I want to get into some coping skills and some tools in a minute, but once we take our break. But just finish a little bit what you're saying before we take our first break, and then I want to get into some things that we can do for those of us that didn't plan ahead, for those of us that are kind of sitting there like, oh my goodness, we have to work, or thank goodness we have a little bit in savings, or those of us that didn't have savings and preparation for this or wanting to cash in our 401k or whatever it is that people are coming forward to me, I don't know how to give advice like this. I just send them your way. But
yeah, and I appreciate that. But, I think here's the message that we really want to try to get to people is as bad as it seems, this is an opportunity. Mm-hmm. What you and I are doing today is testament to the opportunity that lies before us. As bad as this is, and as worried and concerned that we all are, this is a real opportunity for us to sit back and become more creative and find new ways to begin to deal with the stuff that life throws us every once in a while.
If I had my belt right now, I would ring it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I say this to you a lot, and you always chuckle, but one of my favorite sayings is credited to Sir Winston Churchill, and if you're going through hell, keep going. Well, that's what we're doing. We're all going through hell right now, but the idea is if we keep going, we'll discover the new and creative ways and opportunities for us to overcome the challenges that we face. And you and I doing this today is a perfect example of that. It may seem very small, but when we were faced with, we can't be in the studio with Ed, well, so how are we going to do this? And Ed, doing the things that he's having to do today just to make this possible so the folks that we want to hear this message can still hear this message. So really, this is while it's a challenging time, it's an exciting time, it's an opportunity time for all of us to kind of step back, take a breath, re-examine what we're doing, where we're going, and become a little more creative about it. And let's talk about that a little bit more after the break.
Mm-hmm. After the break. Yeah, and I want to welcome callers to call in. 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. We're on live, and we've got free financial advice here, as well as mental health. Any questions, any feedback, any stories that you're going through that we could help you through, 866-826-1340. And we're taking calls 12 to 1. And it's time for our first break, and we will be back with some tools, some tips, some things, and aspirations for hope and ways to pull ourselves out of this rut as well and to see a brighter future, because this has been a wake-up call for a lot of us. And so 866-826-1340. We're going to hit our first break, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Do you ask yourself any of these questions? Will I ever be able to get out of debt? Will I ever be able to retire? How am I going to pay for my children's education? How do I begin saving for my family's future? And if something were to happen to me, will my family be taken care of? Have you struggled in finding the answers? Forever Forward Financial can help answer these and many more questions about your financial future by teaching you how money works, by providing you the financial education you seek, by assisting you in making the right retirement or educational decisions that are best for you and your family, and by helping you take the necessary steps in establishing and meeting your financial goals. Please call us today and schedule your complimentary, no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. The number, 727-422-7761.
Hi, this is Tiffany Werner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclarity.com.